It was a different game than last week completely. I mean, that second quarter, that third quarter drive into the fourth was a fire that it feels like maybe we haven't seen here, at least since that Sask OT game. Just what was the conversation at halftime in a game like that when you go down 6?
Yeah, it's they got on us early again, right? And we just didn't like it just felt like we just couldn't get a stop in it. It wasn't really on the 5-on-5. It was kind of the transition and just up the floor. And they're super athletic, and it's just bam, it just kind of like hits you. And, but I'm so happy and I'm so impressed with our guys because you can kind of just hey, all right, just kind of mail that in. But like just the grit and determination of like no, like we just keep on chipping away, like keep on moving it forward. I think we got it to like 8-4, and then maybe they got one, but then there was like more belief and. I feel like, during that comeback, like, just the grittiness and kind of like the team toughness, you get superstars and guys that are obviously typically more on the offensive side that play, and they're going to take hits and take slashes and the whole bit. And for guys to come into their defense and like be together, like that just builds momentum and energy, and you could just feel it. And then we just chipped away, and boy, like the energy when we went up 13-12 was like, oh, here we go. And, obviously they tied it up, but that was like, I feel like we expended like a tremendous amount of energy to get back from being down 8-1, and then, it's kind of like 5 unanswered goals. I don't even know if one of them was a power play marker, and then they got one and they kind of got ahead, and, and we couldn't respond. I mean, we had some good looks. They switched their goalies, and all of a sudden Kells comes in, and he makes some key saves for them and kind of like changes the momentum a little bit. And hats out Sean Williams, and his coaching staff do a great job, and they got great players. And it just kind of felt that for my short time being here, for a solid like 45 minutes is like Rochester Nighthawk lacrosse. Like it was gritty, the ball moved around offensively. Face-offs. Riley Hutchcraft had a great day in the net. In relief of Hartley, and and now we got to continue to build on it because like we're running out of time. It's all about trying to get to the playoffs, and we got Oshawa in a week, and we got to watch this, and we got to get watching Oshawa film, and then we got to practice on Tuesday, and then we got to continue to do film and continue to work with our guys during the week, and be prepared, So the good news is there's still time, but it's quite apparent that we're starting to run out of it.
You talk about grit, and for me, two guys really come to my mind when I think of that. Offensively, Ryan Lanchbury today looked like he had a different type of fire behind the face mask, and defensively, maybe not the greatest statistical day, but Taylor Jensen was.
Yeah,
putting himself on the line.
Well, that's what it takes. Like that's what it takes in like every facet. Like whether it's transition, whether it's grabbing a loose ball, whether it's playing tough, whether it's or even soaking a shot. Like you have to be willing to do those things. Like you have to be willing to. That allows your team to gain momentum and energy. But that's what allows you to maybe win games. And you got to get a collective of 19 guys that are on the play. The game day roster. Like everybody has to do it, and it's the little things, If that on that 8-1 run, it felt like we just missed like 4 loose balls, And then Cloutier just gets it and snipes one, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's like it's in the net, and you're like, oh, boy, if we would have gotten that loose ball, then that's another one. No, if we didn't, if we would have gotten that loose ball, maybe it's still 0-0, and that just kind of snowballed. But back to the grid. Like Taylor had an incredible game, and yeah, you know what? Like, and that was great to see from Ryan because he's an offensive guy. He initiates. He's going to get chopped. He's going to get slashed. He was getting to the middle of the heart of the defense along with Connor, and they're going to get hit. And but then there's some feistiness of like give it back, and so super proud of those guys. But that's another reason why we can just keep on building off of it, right? Because now we've seen it. Let's do that more. Let's get more of that, And so all's not lost, We got a chance. I really truly believe this. Like there's a championship formula in that locker room. The players themselves, They care. They're dedicated. You know, we showed it. We kind of felt it. At least, you know, the short time that I'm here, and our focus now is just, you know, to get through this, analyze it, have great conversations with our guys, and real conversations, and we got to get ready for Oshawa.
Coach, lacrosse is a game of runs, and we saw that tonight. What was the message to the guys when you guys were going on that big run in the third and fourth quarter?
Oh, keep chipping away, man. Keep going, and then it's always good because, like, you know, if you have a dedicated face-off guy, like, you can kind of build it because you get the ball first. You know, I don't even know what the stats are, but I feel like Capper probably won, I don't know, 25, maybe 30 face-offs, and we get the ball first, right? So to answer your question, Spencer, it was good. Like, and from a bench standpoint, like, you know, D guys are patting the O guys, and O guys are patting the D guys. A nice job, and hey, keep it up and shut the gate, you know, defensively, and you know, and banging the boards because Hutchie's making saves. Like, you can just feel like the energy, you know, and that's the exciting part, is just that, like, it's there. You know, now we gotta find that thing. We gotta can it, and we gotta, like, you know, expose it against Oshawa for 60 minutes.
You know, as now your second game as an NLL coach here, do you feel like you're processing this game any differently than the last game, and maybe you're feeling the learning curve a bit, I guess?
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's all learning experience. I mean, it's super fast, it's super quick. You know, there are you know, all the different facets of the game, like, you know, depending upon which way you're going, are you the long end and the short end, and which way do you want the ball to go if Capper's going to win? Like, you know, all these different things, but, you know, again, I got a great staff in Kyle Clay and Matty DeLella, and they've kind of helped me through that. You know, the you know, obviously with the video calls, and do you challenge and do you not? You know, I rely heavily on them, and what I try to do is I just try to support them and allow them to, you know, kind of do their roles, right? But yeah, it is a continuing learning curve. Like, from here, like, what did I learn today? Like, okay, like, we got, like, serious grit, we got fight, we got comeback. You know, again, Riley Hutchcraft played very, very well in the net, and he's one of the main reasons, like, we were able to come back. And so everything is now continuing to build off of, like, all these different, like, little pieces. And for me, it's exciting, although in a short amount of time. But, like, we're right there. Like, we're really not that far off, right? And I think that our guys believe that. So I'll keep on learning. I'll keep on, you know, making sure I'm, you know, asking questions and knowing our team and their capabilities, and so I'm going to do my best effort to keep on moving this thing forward.
We talked about character a lot. I thought that we showed a whole lot of character in this game. Down 8-1, easily could have mailed the rest of it in, but they fought and fought and fought. Talk about how the character is building now that you're at the helm here.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Like, you can kind of mail those things in and kind of go, "Woe is me," and hey, you know, is the season done? And hey, there's all this kind of chaos that maybe is kind of happening, and you know, but it's when you're living it, and I'm kind of going through it. Like, you know, the first game, you kind of seen some glimpses of it, but you know it because you've seen it in video, right, from the first beginning of the year. Like, it's all there, but now you're kind of experiencing it, and just for our guys to kind of, like, just dig in and say, no, like, we're going to get this done. Like, we're going to come back. And the belief, and, you know, Danny Coates is, you know, the captain, and he's sparking it on the bench. Like, continue to believe, you know, continue to get the loose balls, and you can kind of feel it, right? And so to watch that group of guys really come together. And here's the thing. At the end of the game, and it didn't go our way, and they got on a run, they were still together. And so that's important to me, you know, because, hey, you win, that's easy. When you lose, not so easy. But at the end of the game, like, they were still together. There's things that we still got to figure out, but, like, they were still together as a team. And yeah, I feel like the locker room's a great locker room, and, you know, we're going to continue to, you know, kind of build. We're going to build, you know, and we're going to take those really good points and try to move this thing forward to Oshawa.